We begin with the urgent situation in Hawaii as a fast-moving and deadly inferno has sparked a desperate evacuation. Some people literally jumping into the Pacific Ocean to try to escape the approaching flames. The wildfire on the island of Maui exploded in size after gusty mountain winds were amplified by Hurricane Dora, which is moving across the Pacific hundreds of miles to the south. The stark reality tonight, at least 6 people are dead and parts of the town of Lahaina and its historic district, which is very significant to Native Hawaiians, have burnt to the ground. People who call this place home for generations may now lose their homes, and there are those who thought that they would have a peaceful vacation in a place some call paradise. Instead, they're having to rush to safety. Our team witnessed tourists in Los Angeles frantically trying to leave a plane bound for Hawaii. We're standing by to talk with a helicopter pilot who's witnessed the devastation from above. But first, Gio Benitez leads us off from on the ground in Hawaii.
Tonight, the harrowing race to escape the wind-whipped inferno exploding in Maui. Terrified families desperately fleeing the flames and smoke-filled streets. Homes all around burning to the ground. Moments ago, officials confirming at least 6 people losing their lives. 6 fires erupting on the islands of Maui and Hawaii Tuesday, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses, forcing mass evacuations, at least a dozen people jumping into the ocean to get away in Lahaina.
Lahaina is on fire.
Apocalyptic scenes in that popular tourist town and historic cultural landmark home to 12,000 people. Steve Scott desperately trying to fight back the flames. And you were essentially trapped in the middle of the fire.
Right. I was with a hose, shooting it up, trying to protect our building, and plantation house, all of that blew up.
Getting separated from his wife.
I'm trying to find my wife. I know she's safe. I think she's safe, but I haven't found her yet.
And you can see the powerful winds here right now. You could also see that dry terrain that quite literally created the perfect storm for a fire this devastating. And right here, this is the one road in and out of Lahaina, making it incredibly difficult to just get out. Lahaina's iconic front street with buildings dating back to the 1700s ravaged by flames. Dustin Johnson describing the moment he escaped.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way.
Officials say that 150-year-old banyan tree, treasured by both locals and tourists alike, is gone.
If you got someplace to go, someone's house.
Okay, we will.
KITV meteorologist Malika Dudley dropping everything, evacuating with her family from Kula.
There was a red glow outside of our window. The fire was right above our property.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor.
Daylight revealing the scope of the devastation here. Aerial video showing home after home destroyed.
We were not prepared for what we saw. It was heartbreaking. It looked like an area that had been bombed in a war.
Authorities saying 911 services down in some areas. Hospitals are overwhelmed with burn patients.
Buildings are charred. Fires are not completely contained, and there's still fear that the fires would go into different communities.
Still so much concern that they are not quite out of the woods just yet. Gio Benitez joins us now from Maui. Gio, we know that the National Guard is assisting local authorities. What are officials telling tourists tonight?
So, Lindsay, officials are telling tourists who are here on the island to get out as soon as possible. We know right now that airlines are adding more and more flights to get people out safely, so they want that to happen. But they're also telling people not to come to Maui, and that's because resources are just so limited here on the island. And as we've reported here tonight, so many people, hundreds of people, are stranded at the airport tonight, Lindsay.
Gio, I just want to get a sense, because we do see people in the water swimming behind you. Are there portions where it is business as usual, life is normal?
Yeah, so this is actually the Wailea area where we are right now. Lahaina is actually in the distance. You can see sort of the mountain there. It's just behind there. So in this area, a lot of people who were over there have actually come here. We know at this hotel, they've actually taken some people in. And so those are some of the people who have been brought in and brought to safety and to seek shelter here at this hotel. There are some areas that are safe right now. But again, the worry here is that these fires kick up again and start up again all over Maui.
All right, Gio, our thanks to you, and of course, stay safe. And now we want to turn to someone who you just heard there, who got a direct view of some of Maui's worst devastation. Helicopter pilot and business owner Richard Olston flew over the Lahaina area earlier. He joins us now. Richard, thanks so much for talking with us. Just describe for us what you saw today.
Well, first of all, last night we saw bits and pieces on the news of some fires in Lahaina, and we knew there would be some devastation, but we had no idea that what we saw, what we were going to see. It was just devastating. We started from the south side, from Puamana, and all the way up almost to the Hyatt Hotel. The entire Front Street area just burnt to the ground. The whole historic section of Lahaina town, the old buildings and so forth, all gone. The business section, all gone, and hundreds of homes. So it was very difficult to view that. We were flying over there to see if there was some way that we could help the people on that side of the island in emergency, but we had no idea that we'd see such a devastation. I've flown on Maui for 52 years, and I've never seen anything like that in the fires that we've had before, where our heart goes out to the hundreds of people that are displaced from their homes and the businesses and their jobs that they won't have now because of the loss of the buildings and the businesses. Just, it looks like a bomb went off, or it looks like the whole area was bombed. It looks like a war zone.
We heard you say earlier that you just were not prepared for what you ultimately saw. Of course, Lahaina is not only a popular tourist destination, it was the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom and is now a national historical landmark. For local people there, just how devastating of a loss is this?
Well, that's huge. My wife is Hawaiian, and our family, you know, and they're just devastated at the loss of this historical sites because they can't be replaced. These were buildings that, you know, have existed for hundreds of years, and now they're gone, not replaceable. So it's really, really sad.
Your company usually does helicopter tours, but will you now have to pivot to helping out with the rescue or recovery efforts?
We've offered our services to the mayor in any way that we can possibly help. There is the National Guard has been called and activated, I believe, and the Windward Aviation is still dropping water on fires in the area there. And yeah, we've offered our service to do whatever we can to help the community, as we've been serving this community for over 30 years, and we want to do our part.
As you talk with your family and friends, neighbors, co-workers there today, how are people processing what's happened there? Just so much loss so suddenly.
When we woke up this morning, and then when we saw what we saw, it's even hard to process that because it's such devastation. We have employees here that have relatives that they still haven't been able to get in touch with, and not knowing their status. So it's very difficult for everybody. It's even hard to accept that it's reality.
Yeah, we can understand why. Our hearts certainly go out to you and the people of Maui. Richard Olston, we thank you for talking with us. We're certainly going to be thinking of you and all the people affected by this fire tonight.
Thank you.